What's going on, guys? Chuck in
Chris.
here, and this is a big one. So let's start. First of all, he survived. All right. So we just got out of seeing Gone with the Wind, the upteenth billionth time for me, very first time for Chris. So, first of all, is your butt numb? Are you okay?
No, surprisingly. I survived trips longer than this.
True. And there was an intermission. First of all, let me bring this. I did not drag him to this. A lot of people probably think that. This is actually something he's been saying he's wanted to see for a while, and it just happened to be that Fathom Events was this, for whatever reason. I think it's like its 95th anniversary this year, I believe. 85th anniversary, yeah, excuse me. So, they just happened to put it in theaters for 3 nights only. We were able to catch one, and so this perfect timing. So first of all, let me ask you this, Chris. What was it that made you want to, even see it in the first place?
You mentioned a lot about it, and at the point, it's just I gotta see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff I talked. Especially, I think I might have brought it the first time when we watched Titanic, because the big scene in Titanic when they
after the ship is completely sunk and
they do the big
camera pans out.
Yeah, and you see all of the bodies in the water. I call that the Gone with the Wind shot, and for they do something similar. When Scarlett's going through Atlanta and they pull back after the war's over, you see all the dead bodies. It's I think I mentioned that to him, now I bring it up. Do you see what I mean about that shot?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that's all done. What are your initial impressions after sitting through 4 hours and watching? And let me point out, I was really impressed. He's been up since 6 in the morning. He had school today because this is a Wednesday, so he had school today, and he's able to sit in the theater for the 4 hours, and he actually was up and through it the whole time. I was really impressed. So, what are your initial thoughts coming out of that?
It was good.
You really liked it?
Yeah.
That's great, because honestly, I was a little nervous because first of all, obviously the movie, like I said, it's 85 years old. And sometimes it's done a different way. People talk differently. Obviously, it not only is 85 years old, but it takes place probably 100 years prior to or 18 whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a different time, a different aspect, and so you wonder how someone from 2024 is going to see it the first time, you're going to react to it. But you really liked it.
Yeah.
What is it something that really stuck out to you, or that made you really enjoy it?
I don't think I actually have a specific scene.
Well, not a scene, but what is it that you liked about the movie? What is it that made you came out saying something that just what the feeling it gave you? What is it that made you like it?
Storytelling was pretty good.
You really liked the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's one, like I said, I saw as a kid. I remember the first time I saw it, it aired on TV. It was like a special 2-night event, part 1, part 2, because I put 4 hours on TV.
I will.
And I was watching it as a kid. I remember bits and pieces and knew about it. It wasn't really until I was in high school, I think, and we watched it, and I got really into it. And then I really liked it from there. Then since then doing my very first watch of all the Academy Award winners of Best Picture. That's when probably the first time I sat down and really got into it. Since then, I've gone to the theater and seen almost every time it's been released. The very first time, me and your Aunt Beth, we drove to Cincinnati to see the 50th anniversary. Wow, and this is the 85th. Man, I'm getting old. And so every time and I've seen it in the theater probably this is probably the third or fourth time since then that I've seen it, because I absolutely love this movie. So what are your? Do you like storytelling? Anything other aspect about the filmmaking, maybe being the film's 85 years old? Anything that you like that sticks out, or it's something you find different that's appealing as opposed to something you'd watch now? Just any takes on it whatsoever.
I don't think I actually have nothing. I don't really have anything for that.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Let's just break it down here. What do you think of Scarlett O'Hara?
I like both of their characters. Or no, one character, yeah.
I know where you're going. But, just give me what are your thoughts on Scarlett?
I like her character for, I guess, I don't know how to say it, honestly. Most because I didn't really go into the character that much.
That's okay. That's okay. Now, the big thing about Scarlett is you see, she's a young Southern belle. If you watch the movie, she's basically supposed to be probably 14, 15 when it starts off. When the barbecue and all, and she sees the flirting, girl is just, using her ways, and you have to see her basically what she goes through, growing up and being a woman who's like by the end of the movie is a totally different woman than the girl that grew up. You mentioned that girl's, she's telling Ashley that girl's, long gone. You see what she's had to do. Like I said, at the end of the first act, that no matter what she do, whatever it takes, she'll lie, cheat, steal, whatever, she'll never be hungry again. And that was, you see that in the second half. Basically, she's marrying people she doesn't want just because it's an advantage for her. So it's she's a great character, but she's also very manipulative. But she's, kind of, the cliche. She's a beautiful woman. Knows how to use her charms to get what she wants and make men fawn over her, almost to a ridiculous point. What about Rhett Butler?
Honestly, I liked his character for basically more being a neutral character, if anything, because he's not entirely good to Scarlet, but not entirely bad either.
Right. No, he's the rebel, if you will. Yeah, he's the cad. He's like everyone's like the Southern gentleman. He's not the Southern gentleman. Obviously, he's just a real person. And that's the thing that's great about this movie. Out of all these characters, they're all flawed. There's only one character in this entire movie that is 100% pure. And you can almost say she's so pure to the point that that's her flaw. Is that she's so pure, and that's Melanie. Melanie's the only 100% decent human being in the movie, really. And it's to the point, like I said, it's almost she's very naive, it's almost a detriment to her. But that she's like the heart and soul of the film. Where, obviously, she's the thing that holds all the characters together, really. Someone once told me she thought that the love story, because big love story is Scarlet and Rhett. They're very toxic love story because they are a toxic couple, regardless. Obviously, they love each other, but they're just like oil and water. But someone mentioned, this is a girl I knew, a friend of mine. She always thought the love story in the movie was actually Rhett and Melanie because they just they cling so well, which is interesting. I don't know if I buy that, but I think it's an interesting concept because they do connect very well with that movie. But the sad sack of this whole movie is Ashley. Yeah. He gets on my nerves because he's so wishy-washy. It's like at the end, it's spoiler for film if you haven't seen 85 years, in 85 years. When at the end, Scarlett's like, well, you could have told me from the beginning that you didn't love me. And she's right. The whole time he's like leading her on because he's too afraid to say, I don't love you. And he's just, just so wishy-washy. And it's, kind of, he's really the catalyst for, everything that's it's a lot of Scarlett's bad decision making.
Yeah, it kind of made part of her character in that movie.
Yeah, that is a big chunk of her character is her love for Ashley and trying to win Ashley over, even though it's a lost cause, but she refuses because he's just leading her on. Another big component of this, and this is one Chris told me he really did like, was Mammy, Hattie McDaniel's character. You like Mammy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like about her?
Mostly based on her attitude, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Very, sassy, no nonsense, and she has most of the funniest lines. Honestly,
also that.
great delivery. But overall, you really like the movie. So
yep.
You're okay sitting there for the 4 hours, watching it.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree. There were some scenes where he was actually on the edge of his seat, literally, really into it, and especially towards the end, which I thought was really cool. Were you shocked with the what happened with Bonnie?
Yeah.
I thought I saw you a little, shocked. Which
it's the third act itself.
It's towards the very end. Yeah, that's and as I get older, as I get older as a father, stuff like that always gets me every time. It gets harder to do. That's something I don't want to, no parent wants to think of. It's very sad. So I'm not sure where I was going with it. I had a thought, I lost it. But okay, so overall, reiterate, I did not drag him this movie. It's a movie you wanted to see, which is really cool for a 13-year-old who wants to go on with the win. I said in the theater, it was an introduction with Leonard Maltin, which is giving a lot of facts about the film stuff. I already knew, but for people who don't know, one thing that did annoy me slightly is there's like a little disclaimer at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I get, the whole
Time change.
Yeah, but I don't think you need it. I really don't. I mean, it's again, the movie's 85 years old at this point, and is it giving you a good depiction of slavery and all that? No, but at the same time, it's a time capsule of what we saw there. And, good or bad, it's what it was. I mean, frankly, you should understand it's 85 years time, so you shouldn't have to be protected from it. You should know it.
But then again, you realize how sensitive people are.
This is true. I mean, I get why it's in there, but it's like I don't know. It's a whole other spiel I'm getting to, but I don't think it's. I mean, does it romanticize the South? Of course, but that's the whole point of it, man. It's from the South's point of view. Of course, it's going to romanticize it. That's the storytelling, thing. But even there's parts of it, Brett talks about, how they're misguided, and they're stuck in their ways, and they're backwards. I mean, it's there. But I don't really need a disclaimer for these things. It's a movie. It's how things are depicted then. Again, right or wrong, and it is what it is. And don't. I guess you can warn about. I don't know. I just don't think it needs it. It's just my opinion. Whatever. I think it's still a good movie. I'll always love the movie. It's one of my probably top 5 of all time. It's a movie I will gladly pop in and watch anytime. If I've caught it on TV from the channels, and I just sat and watched it because I absolutely just love this movie. I have 2 copies of it at home. One I have is a 4-disc DVD, but that's because so we have shelf space. My 80th anniversary Blu-ray is a big box, which I've shown, but it can't fit in a shelf, so it's up top. So I just have the DVD set so it has place on the Oscar shelf. It's a placeholder. But I do love this movie a lot, and I'm really glad that Chris was interested in seeing it, and I'm glad this opportunity came up to bring him to see it. The rain's coming. It's been raining all day, and it's starting to come down again.
Ah, great.
Yeah. So, any last thoughts? You got to work in your.
I think something out, and then I don't. I'd forget it.
Okay. I'll put him on the spot. That's the thing. He needs prep time. I guess give him a script or something. I don't know.
No, we don't write scripts here for a good reason. That takes too much time.
Yeah, it's like you go off the cuff. It's the way I like to run, and roll. Okay, so you got nothing? No inner thoughts?
No.
Really. Okay. Well, before we get drowned in the rain here, it's going to start to come down now. We're going to wrap it up, I guess. So,
all right.
That is it. What do you give it, Chris?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I think every movie you ever watched with him, everything's been a 10 out of 10. He's the ultimate audience. A perfect reviewer. Everyone will love him because he like everything. He's easy to please.
Clearly open my on movies.
This is true, and that's always good. I mean, point is, were you entertained?
Yeah.
And you enjoyed what you weren't bored.
No.
So that's all. That's the main thing for any film.
Critiques.
As long as even if it's bad, if you're entertained and enjoying it, it's still good. You're still going to like it. That's the important thing. All this other stuff is just added bonus. Character development, story art, whatever. It's just added bonus. So yep. Okay. So that is it for our trip to see Gone with the Wind. We're going to drive home in the rain. Hopefully get there safely. So until next time, this is Chuck and
Chris.
And we will see you on the other side. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.